The Blue Jays starting staff leads the American League in ERA with a .333 earned run average. The young starters have been a pleasant surprise. Henderson Alvarez will go to the mound to make his 9th start of the season. This has been a real bonus of this ball club early in the season. Take a look at the Mets lineup. They're 2 games over 500. David Wright's back in the lineup. He missed yesterday's game. His last 12 games, he's hit .476, 20 for 42. 9 doubles, a home run, and he has 8 RBIs over that span. Lucas Duda, Daniel Murphy, Kurt Neuenhuis in the middle of the order. Ike Davis, Ronnie Cedeno, and Rob Johnson is back behind the plate for a second time in this series.
Henderson Alvarez pitched really well his last time out, but not well enough. He was outpitched by David Price and had his 3-game winning streak snapped against the Rays. There are his numbers: 3-3 with a .262 earned run average. That is 5th best in the American League at the start of games this afternoon. He pounds it down, gets lots of ground ball outs.
Missed at the first pitch of the ball game today. Andres Torres is the DH.
In that last start, Jeff Mathis was catching Henderson Alvarez, and he was telling me after that ball game that the first inning he was throwing as hard as he has ever seen.
Up to 97 that first inning with great movement. Here's the 2-0. There's a strike. Catching Wally Bell behind the plate this afternoon. This is the 7th and final game of this homestand.
Whoa, stay on that one. It's got that comeback ability. You can't give up on it if you're a hitter.
Or an umpire. And there's the leadoff walk.
As Torres makes his way down, let's take a look at the scouting report for Henderson Alvarez, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He'll throw a lot of fastballs, and he can add and subtract with that fastball. It's got great movement on it, and you'll get a lot of ground ball outs when he is on. His slider is starting to develop. He's throwing more changeups. 11% of the time, Alvarez will throw the changeup. But it's all about that fastball, and he keeps it down. And when he keeps it down, he's pretty good.
Mike Baxter playing in left field today, and Alvarez misses again. Alvarez has a pretty good idea how to make adjustments on the mound. It's unusual for a young pitcher, but he has missed after walking Torres, falls behind Baxter.
Doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. He'll really pitch more to contact and let that great sinking fastball work for him.
It is Brandon Morrow bobblehead day, and looks like Ricky Romero, they've done a little bit of customizing on that bobblehead.
They painted.
Added the beard to it. Front row seat. There goes the runner. It's lined down the left field line and foul. Hit and run was on, and you can expect that today. The Mets have had just 7 hits in this series, and it's been a scramble for them to score runs. And there's Brandon Morrow, bobblehead doll, with a good seat.
Good decoy by the shortstop. Escobar. Torres had no idea where that ball was when it was hit. Escobar acted like he had it, so he made him hit the ground.
Veteran runner like Torres shouldn't be duped like that. 1-2.
If you are fooled and you're not sure where the ball is, where do you look?
Third base coach.
Yeah, look at the third base coach. Or you can look at the third baseman. I think the third baseman will tell you where the ball is hit.
Yeah, he's going to turn around and find it himself.
Yeah, the reaction of the third baseman will tell you where that ball is.
Another 1-2. First a plus to Encarnacion. Torres has just 1 steal in 4 attempts, but as we mentioned, the Mets have been hard pressed to score many runs. They've only had 36 hits in their last 6 games. This time just a courtesy toss from Alvarez.
Everybody has the same scouting reports and the same idea of what type of pitcher Henderson Alvarez is, you've got to start the runner, I think, anytime, because he's going to be around the plate. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys. Got to stay out of that double play.
Base hit into the gap in center field. Rasmus cuts it off. Here's the throw to second. Baxter with the slide. He's in there. Rasmus did a good job of cutting that ball off in right center. But Baxter had double on his mind the moment he hit it through the infield.
Colby Rasmus was playing Mike Baxter the other way, thinking he's going to hit the ball to left center field, so he had a long way to go to cut this ball off. And it's very close at second base. Baxter's now hit in 6 of his last 7 ball games. And the Mets are in business here in the first inning.
And they got their hot hitter, David Wright, back in the lineup. Wright leads the majors with that .409 batting average. Second in third, nobody out. Alvarez looks in stunned, expecting that to be a strike.
There's been a couple of borderline pitches already here in the first inning that Alvarez has looked in and questioned, and he needs to take a deep breath, understand where the strike zone is this afternoon, and make the adjustments.
David Wright checking his bat, see if it's not broken. Got jammed with that inside pitch. Over the last 12 games, Wright's hit nearly 500. 9 doubles, a home run, 8 RBIs. He's been battling a cold for the last couple of weeks. Terry Collins, the manager, took him out of Friday night's game early. He came out after the 5th inning and then did not play yesterday. Base hit. 1 run is in. Right behind him is Mike Baxter. David Wright's headed for second. Here's the throw, and it gets past Kelly Johnson. So David Wright drives in 2 with a double, and the Mets are out in front 2-0.
14th double of the season for David Wright. A couple more RBIs. Not waiting around. Got to square that one up. Fastball about thigh high in the middle of the plate to a hitter who's hitting over 400. You think he's seen the ball? Drives in 2 runs, and just like that, a leadoff walk and a couple of 2-base hits, and the Mets have the first runs of the game.
So Terry Collins is thrilled to have David Wright back in the lineup, and he responds quickly. Lucas Duda. Duda's playing in right field. .273 for the season, 4 homers. And is 1 for 6 in the series. There's a good fastball on the inside corner.
95 miles an hour on the inner half. Alvarez is going to have to figure this one out. Maybe take a little something off at times and work his breaking ball in there just a little bit more.
Like the changeup, Kelly Johnson waits on it at second base. That's the first out of the inning. When you look back at the last 5 starts for Henderson Alvarez, he has really developed consistency. Look at his innings per start, 7 1/3. ERA at 1.51. His whip 1.21, and the ground ball out's been consistent all year long.
That has helped him, I think, to lengthen out his starts. If he ends up giving up a base hit, he just wipe him out in 1 pitch with a ground ball double play.
Infield comes in trying to save a run. Daniel Murphy, great contact hitter, hitting .323. That's 11th in the National League.
Stays on the ball really well. A lot of his hits go the opposite way.
Great crowd on hand here at Rogers Center. Beautiful day. The roof is wide open. 0-2 pitch. Got him. Backed off that changeup, foul tipped it, and Aaron Seaver held onto it. That's a big strikeout.
Yeah, hopefully to leave that runner at third base, the infield can now move back, and Alvarez does back off some of his pitches. Ball went straight down tip. What a play by Aaron Seaver to keep that ball from hitting the dirt to record the strikeout.
Kirk Neuenhuis, the left fielder today. Actually, Neuenhuis is in center today. Played left yesterday. Late on that fastball. Neuenhuis has started in all 3 outfield positions in this series. In the series, he's 0 for 7.
Just a rookie. He's got 37 hits, which is second among rookies.
Lately, it's been a battle for him. Just 2 for 21.
I just don't know if he's going to be able to get around on Alvarez's fastball if he throws him one. I mean, he's pumping it up there this first inning.
He's hit 98 this inning.
First pitch of the ball game hit 98 miles an hour. Tried a little bit too much there. He'd be better off when he's got that hitter looking out over the plate. Throw that comeback two-seam fastball. That time it looked like he got on top of it, just a little bit more, straighten out his fastball.
Here's the 2-2. Popped into center field. Rasmus. Oh, what a catch! No, it popped out of his glove. Colby Rasmus had it and then relaxed his glove, and the ball popped out. He didn't take it out with his bare hand. He clearly caught it, but the umpire was waiting for him to take it out with his bare hand, and he didn't.
That's the rule. You make a catch like that, a diving catch, you've got to be able to take it out with your other hand. I've seen this before a couple of times in baseball where you see the outfielder dive, make the catch, the umpire's watching to see if the ball isn't jarred out by the ground, and then you physically have to take it out of the glove with your bare hand. Here comes Rasmus. He gets there. He's got it. It's in, but it pops out, and that's a good call. That's the right call.
That is the right call. Watch how it snow cones in the webbing of his glove. He just relaxes his glove, and the ball pops to the ground. Once it hits the ground, it's no catch.
You know, it has nothing to do with, well, it was in his glove for so long. He had it for this. He took this many steps after he caught it. It has nothing to do with that. He has to be able to take it out of his glove.
So it's 3-0 Mets here in the first. There's a little tapper in front of the mound. Alvarez will go to first, and the inning is over. But the Mets, with a walk and 3 doubles, take a 3-0 lead. Top of the order will have to get something going early. Kelly Johnson, Yunel Escobar, and the DH Jose Bautista. Ball in his glove, extending it, and then he just relaxed his hand. When he did that, the ball popped out of the glove, and then it hit the turf, and once that happened, it's no catch. Blue Jays come into this game 5 games over 500. Johnson, Escobar, Bautista, top of the order. JP Arencibia, since he's moved into that 5th spot, has been on fire. During this homestand, he's gone 7 for 20 with a double, 4 home runs, and 10 RBIs. Thames Francisco starts in right field for the first time this year. Rasmus and Gomes round out the lineup.
Dylan G will take his 2-3 and .565 earned run average to the mound for his 8th start of the season. He took the loss in the Mets' 8-0 defeat against Milwaukee. That was back on May the 15th. He gave up 7 earned runs in that game, just 5 1/3 innings. Doesn't throw very hard, throws a lot of change-ups.
He'll top out at 89 miles an hour. Once in a while, pop one over 90, but not very often. Kelly Johnson has faced G in the past, but just 3 at-bats. He and Ben Francisco are the only Blue Jays that have had at-bats against WG.
Combined just 4 at-bats against G.
Ball on his strike.
Works quickly. Had a great year last year for the Mets. Won 13 ball games for New York.
13-6 for the season. The 13-6 record was the best single season winning percentage for a Mets rookie. That speaks volumes. They've had a lot of great young pitchers come up throughout their history. There's a base hit up the middle. They had him shaded around toward left field. Kelly Johnson is going to go into second base. Here's the throw. Not in time. They give him a double, but Johnson actually stopped. He was hesitating, but what he did was he kept his eye on the outfielder.
Kept his head up. Watch the center fielder, Kirk Neuenhuis. He's got a long way to go. As he gets there, he bobbles the ball momentarily, and that's all that Kelly Johnson needed to come around. Watch him as he comes out of the box. As he gets to first base, he keeps his head up, hits the base, stops, hesitates, and then keeps his head down there as he dives in with an extra base hit.
Boy, that's good base running. He had thoughts of second, and he was going to make the center fielder stop him, and Neuenhuis didn't. Get on Escobar. That's the first pitch down the stairs. Kelly Johnson's now reached base in 15 straight games.
That's what you want from your leadoff hitter. Get on base. Start rallies.
Kelly Johnson, among the second basemen in the American League, is second in on-base percentage to Robinson Cano of the Yankees. Dustin Pedroia is at 360 in Kinsler. You're talking about some good offensive players right there. That's a pretty good list of second basemen that provide offense for their ball clubs.
Those are the well-known second basemen. And Kelly Johnson right in the middle of them.
Kelly Johnson setting the table. Escobar has flourished hitting second, and now G has got himself in a problem. He's been staked to an early lead, and Jose Bautista is on deck.
If they weren't down by 3 runs, I'd say go ahead and try and smoke one right here, but you're looking for some base runners in front of the big boys.
There's a strike. Well, that's the beauty of this Blue Jays lineup. They've hit 20 home runs since May 9th, so they can erase any kind of early deficit with one swing of the bat.
And on a hot day like today, the ball really carries from left center field to the foul line and right center field to the foul line.
G is set. And there's the walk. First and second, nobody out, and Jose Bautista will come to the plate.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for young Dylan G. He's 25 years old. Fastball about 50% of the time. It's a 4-seam fastball. He's also got a curveball and a slider, more like a cutter. His best pitch, I think, is his changeup, and he'll use that 22% of the time. Up and down, try and get some ground ball outs. He just won't blow the ball by you, so the Blue Jays have to be ready, especially on that first pitch.
First pitch on the outside corner. Jose Bautista is DHing for the first time this season. His batting average just over 200. Couple of good pitches away from Bautista on the outside corner.
Trying to make him pull it into that shift. He was on the plate just a little bit more than what we saw about a month ago. So that outside pitch, he can still reach it and pull it if he has to. There are his numbers over his last 9 games. The power and the production starting to come back for Jose.
Snap throw to first base, and Davis did a good job to take that short hop throw. That thing was headed down the right field line.
Short hop and in between hop also from the catcher. That's Rob Johnson trying to pick off, Escobar. That's a couple of strikes. You sneak in behind that runner. Just give him a little look if you're the first baseman and say, I'll be there if you want to throw.
This is the 3rd time in the last 4 games Kelly Johnson and Yunel Escobar have reached in the first inning. Doing a great job of setting the table.
It makes some RBI opportunities for Bautista and Encarnacion.
On Friday night, Bautista and Encarnacion struck out, but J.P. Arencibi hit a 3-run homer. Two balls, 2 strikes. Missed. Bautista strikes out. First out of the inning.
Got to keep the ball down to a big home run hitter, and that's exactly where Dylan G goes with it. Fastball down.
Edwin Encarnacion try to pick up Jose Bautista right here. Fouls the first pitch back.
That is something that we'll watch this afternoon. The first pitch strikes from Dylan G. On the first pitch this year, batters are hitting over 500 against him when they swing at it. 533. So he likes to get ahead early. Blue Jay batters have to be ready for him.
Breaking ball off the plate. Encarnacion is among the American League's best at batting average at home. He's hit .338 in this ballpark. Compared to .210 on the road, he has really hit well right here at home.
Tailor-made for this ballpark, I think. Fly ball type of swing. Ball carries here. He gets in trouble when he starts opening up that front shoulder a little bit too early. Pitchers have now started staying away from him and forcing him to try and pull the ball. He showed the other night that he's got plenty of power to center field or right center field.
And the breaking ball off the plate. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dylan G.
Again, G has never faced the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays have never seen him, so a little unfamiliar with what he likes to do to get you out.
J.P. Arencibi, we mentioned his home run Friday night. Came in the first inning with 2 outs off of Jonathan Neese. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Mets scored 3 in their half of the first. Blue Jays got the first 2 on, and now there are 2 outs. He's done a pretty good job of making some quality pitches after Kelly Johnson's double and a walk to Escobar.
He has just stayed away from those right-handers. A couple of breaking balls in the outside corner to get strikeouts. One pitch away of getting out of it now.
Off the end of the bat, Mike Davis will go to the bag. Arencibi is retired. Dylan G strands a pair. After the first, Mets are up 3-0. long weekend, and a lot of fans have come early to Rogers Center to make sure they get their Brandon Morrow bobblehead doll. And the bobblehead doll got a chance to go around the concourse, just making sure everything is going well. Lots of people want to pick up on the Brandon Morrow jerseys, and the bobblehead doll is having a great day. And, of course, when it's your bobblehead day, you get to pick your seat. And there he is, sitting right on the rail, right behind the Mets on-deck circle. Brandon Morrow, bobblehead day. First pitch, strike to Ronnie Cedeno, the shortstop. Brandon Morrow is the only pitcher in the big leagues with 2 shutouts. Second came yesterday. And there's a line drive base hit into center field for Ronnie Cedeno. That pitch was up, and he went right back with it.
One of the best in baseball, keeping the ball down. But this time it's up, and again, he doesn't strike out a lot of people, a lot of batters. Pitches to contact when it's up like that, a little bit easier to hit.
Catcher Rob Johnson. Johnson was the starter behind the plate in the series opener on Friday night. Finished up 0 for 3 in that game. He actually pitched the 8th inning of that ball game. Blue Jays won that one 14-5. We have just been notified that there was a scoring change back in the first inning. Kelly Johnson initially scored a double. He's now a single and an error on the center field because of that hesitation by Johnson around the bag at first.
That's right. Yeah, I thought that's the correct play.
Yeah, he definitely was going to stop until he saw the bobble, and the bobble led to his ability to get to second. So Kirk Neuenhuis will be charged with his second error of the season. 2-0 count on the Mets catcher. Just foul outside of first. Saw the Mets try hit and run in the first inning with Andres Torres running at first base. Might be anxious to do it here. Not going. Outside.
Alvarez is fighting himself right now instead of staying within his delivery and doing the things that has helped him to be successful here in the early parts of the season. I think J. Pierre and Sebia can set up right in the middle of the plate right here and help his young right-hander stay on the plate.
There goes the runner. Escobar thought about second, but will take the sure thing at first. Johnson is retired. So the Mets, by starting the runner, stay out of a double play.
Thought they had a shot at second base, at least to get that lead runner and exchange runners. Watch where Torres is not very far off the bag, and he faked like he was going to second, and then said, okay, I want to get the sure out here.
So back to the top of the order, Andres Torres. He walked and scored in the first. Alvarez talking to himself about slowing down. He's a little rushed. He's always quick to the plate, but right now he seems to be rushed and he's out of sync. Off speed pitch downstairs, 2-0.
Changeup helped him get through that first inning. Started incorporating that a little bit more, threw it a little bit more. Got 3 outs to finish it off. They might go back to that plan until he finds his release point.
We've seen his velocity up to 98, but there doesn't seem to be that same life on his pitches that we've seen the last couple of starts.
He was great against Tampa Bay in his last start. Just 2 earned runs. He had given up 4 runs in the game, but errors cost him a couple of runs in that game.
Actually had a 3-0 lead after 4 innings. Blue Jays scored 3 runs against David Price, including an Edwin Encarnacion home run. Torres was headed to first. Wally Bell said not so fast.
Thought this ball was up. Not now.
Full count. And the tapper out in front of the mound. Alvarez went on the foul side of the baseline and got it to Encarnacion.
That was an interesting play and a good play. Tough for the first baseman because you're anticipating the ball staying on the middle of the diamond. But once he caught the ball, his momentum took him across the foul line, and now you got to shift your sights as a first baseman. And you got to shift across the bag into foul territory so you have a lane for your pitcher to throw the ball. Good job by Encarnacion to do that.
Yeah, once the pitcher goes across the baseline, first baseman has to follow him because you don't want to be throwing across the line and that base runner becomes an issue.
Watch Edwin over at first base. He goes to the inside, realizes that it's going to be on the outside, and then just shifts his feet.
Good play by both of them. So now there are 2 outs. Cedeno has moved to third. Mike Baxter had a double his first time up. Baxter was called out on a controversial play in the 9th inning in yesterday's game. He was trying to get to second on a single, stretch it into a double. Hits this ball hard. Francisco can't make the play. It's over his glove and off the wall. Baxter is around second. He's headed to third, and he'll reach as the Mets have taken a 4-0 lead.
Looked like a changeup again up. Henderson Alvarez throws 51% of his pitches to the lower part of the strike zone, but this afternoon the ball is up. Changeup that is up in the middle of the plate, and Ben Francisco almost makes a circus catch in right field. Gets a good jump on the ball, lunges full extension, but he just can't come up with it. And by the time he runs it down, Baxter has a triple.
David Wright had a 2-run double his first time up. Average up to 414.
Boy, what's he going to do when he gets healthy?
Yeah, he's sick. He's got a cold.
Well, he hits the ball everywhere, all over the ballpark, and that's why he is so good. That's why he's hitting over 400.
Strike 3 call. Alvarez ends the inning striking out right on a slider, but the Mets add another run. David Wright looks at the breaking ball. Strike 3. 4-0 New York.
on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Toronto. Ontario is crowded with the boats and big turnout here inside the stadium. Eric Thames takes a first pitch strike from Dylan G. Blue Jays had a good opportunity in the first inning but couldn't capitalize. High and deep to right. Lucas Duda on the warning track gets there and makes the catch. Kirk Neuenhuis ducked out of the way right at the last minute, but Thames is retired.
Just missed that ball. You can see him shaking his head. He knows he should have hit that ball a little bit further. Squared up just a little bit more, he would have had a home run. Got a little bit off the end of the bat. Looked like Dylan G sunk that fastball a little bit, got it out on the end.
Ben Francisco making his first start in right field this afternoon. Jose Bautista gets half the day off, serves as the DH. The Mets starters are 23rd in the major leagues with a 4.31 ERA. It has been a problem area for New York. They just lost a fill-in starter. Miguel Batista has been put on the disabled list with a lower back strain. Jonathan Neese started Friday night here and went just 3 innings. And Francisco's had a few more at bats of late, but he's just 3 for his last 19. And he'll take the walk. A 1-out walk. Now, the American League has owned the National League over the last several years during interleague play, and it's continuing this season. So far, the AL has an 18-10 record. They're pitching much better. They're hitting for a much higher average. And look at the difference in home runs. 20 more home runs already in interleague play for the American League.
Different style. American League, a lot of home run hitters up and down, especially with the designated hitter. National League, more pitching and defense. Shows right there in those numbers.
I just think there are more good teams in the American League than there are in the National League right now. Some of that has to do with injuries, and obviously the Phillies have been decimated, losing 2 of their key players, David Howard and Chase Utley. Atlanta is atop the NL East. They're a game and a half ahead of the Washington Nationals. Miami is 2 games over 500. Everybody in the NL East is over 500.
Yeah, and everybody in the NL Central. How are they looking?
Well, they have 2 teams over 500.
There's just more good teams in the American League. Better depth, if you will. Doesn't mean that there's a better team. The Cardinals won the World Series last year, and the Giants the year before that. So whenever you get into the interleague, it just shows there's a little bit more depth in the American League.
Ball on the strike to Colby Rasmus. Rasmus has been in a little bit of a funk. Wayne Murphy is trying to work things out, trying to get him to just be a little more comfortable, a little more relaxed, and kind of freewheeling at the plate, if you will.
He has worked very hard in the cage the last couple of days. John Farrell wanted to give him a couple of days off just to clear his mind. Work with Wayne Murphy in the cage. He thought there were just too many strikeouts. There's been a timing issue at times with his leg kick, and at times a little bit over aggressive.
3-1 counts in his favor. Takes a pitch on the corner. Full count, 1 out. Ben Francisco at first. Dylan G with a 4-0 lead. Back-to-back walks with 1 out. John Gomes, and this is where the American League really has an advantage, down in the bottom of the order. Just about every team in the American League, you look down at the bottom of the order, there's somebody that can do some damage, and I know Gomes has only been here 3 days, but he can swing the bat.
Yeah, he's a dangerous hitter. When you get into that interleague play, pitchers are hitting in the National League ballpark, so I guess the advantage will go to the National League teams. But when you get over to the American League, you've got more everyday hitters, if you will, in the American League. National League, the guys on your bench are really built for pinch hitting because there's a lot of pinch hitting that goes on.
So again, the Blue Jays have runners at first and second. Same situation they had in the first inning. Base hit left field. And Francisco's being waved around third. The throw is offline and Yan Gomes delivers his third RBI of the season.
Not waiting around for anything. First pitch he sees, again, 5:33 on the first pitch from Dylan G. He sees a fastball in the inner half. It's up and he rips it right by David Wright at third base. No chance on the turf, not on a day game. It gets so spongy and springy. There's a lot of life on the turf and it just rockets right by Wright in the left field.
Kelly Johnson, the leadoff man, singled in his first at bat. Ground ball. Murphy, second for one. No time to go back to first. Gomes did a good job at second base, taking the legs out from under Ronnie Cedeno.
Yeah, as long as you can reach the bag, and Gomes does a good job. After he kicks those legs out, he goes out and reaches the bag to show the umpire that he's right there. Watch him. Slides and then he holds on to the bag right there to show him that he can reach it, so he doesn't call interference. Cedeno really no chance as the ball and the runner arrive right about the same time.
First and third, 2 outs. Yunel Escobar. First pitch breaking ball. G picked up on the fact that the Blue Jays were looking to ambush that first pitch fastball.
Yeah, so he throws him a breaking ball. Took a little something off on the first pitch to Kelly Johnson also. They might try and steal a run here.
Inside. Rasmus with good speed at third. Kevin Johnson's an outstanding base runner. Colby is checking with Brian Butterfield. Johnson is 5 for 5 in steal attempts. Even though the Blue Jays hit home runs, they're not going to sit back and wait for something to develop. Dylan G hasn't given up a home run on the road in his 3 previous road starts. Pulled on the ground. David Wright looks at second, goes there for the force out, but the Blue Jays get on the board. Yan Gomes picks up another RBI. 4-1 Mets. throwing for the Blue Jays. Their starters' ERA is 3.33 coming into this game. That's the best in the American League. They're ahead of Tampa Bay, Los Angeles, and the Texas Rangers. Tampa Bay and the Angels are always among the top in ERA for starting pitching, and this year the Blue Jays have outpitched all those fine stats.
Those teams have spent some big money also to acquire some of those starters for their staffs.
Blue Jays also have 19 starter wins. That's tied with Texas for the second most. There's a line drive to center. Colby Erasmus on the run. Duda's retired. Not only have they pitched well, but they are the youngest rotation in the majors, and that bodes well for the future of this team.
They've got a 21, a 22, and a 24-year-old in their rotation. The youngsters were in A-ball last year. Draybeck failed at the beginning of the season, went down to the minor leagues to get his act together, which he has. And there is some excitement. And it's interesting when you talk to John Farrell and you ask him about these young guys. He's like, this is not what we were expecting from these guys.
Yeah, when you really think about it and go back to the last week of spring training, Drew Hutchison had already been sent out, sent to Double-A. Brett Cecil and Dustin McGowan were probably the leading candidates to fill the 5th spot in the rotation. And Draybeck ended up making the team and pitching very well.
You know, the one thing that all three of them have, or they are acquiring, getting better at, is their composure out on the mound.
Bounce to third. Yan Gomes in time. 2 outs. John Farrell talked about what he expected from this pitching staff when he looks back to spring training.
We didn't quite know, and I'll be quite honest with you, coming out of spring training or when we entered spring training, would we have all three in the rotation at the same time? Due to some injuries and some performance of others, that the three guys are here giving us huge innings and all walking to the mound with the confidence that everyone has when they take the mound. So today is just another addition of those three guys, and that's not to take anything away from both Ricky and Brandon and their work.
Just complements what Romero and Morrow have done so far. And it's really an interesting staff. I mean, you talk about a contrasting styles. You got Morrow with his great fastball, Romero with the wicked changeup. You got Draybeck with that sinking fastball, same as Alvarez. And then Hutchison is a strike throwing machine, both sides of the plate. Not overpowering, but good command.
And then when you look at them again, you say, they're all pretty similar also. They get a lot of ground ball outs. They are having shorter innings this year. Alvarez, the best on the team at pitches per inning. Right about 14.
Alvarez is the best in the American League coming into this game. That's why this game has been such a surprise. He has for the season averaged just 13.8 pitches per inning.
Yeah, not afraid to fill it up. Fill up that strike zone with his fastball. I think he was taken back a little bit the first inning, that leadoff walk. I think he threw what he thought were a couple of pitches that were right there, and they were called balls, and it kind of upset him a little bit, and he had to kind of refocus.
For a good sinking fastball, and Neuenhuis strikes out. Third strikeout of the afternoon for Henderson Alvarez. Lots of late movement hits the Mets center fielder. here where they recognize and honor a member of the armed forces. And today's Sunday salute goes to Warrant Officer Mike Jarvie, who joined the forces in 1978 and is currently based in Cornwall, Ontario. Congratulations to Warrant Officer Mike Jarvie. That's a great way to honor and recognize the armed forces, and special day here on Sunday. Jose Bautista leading off the third inning. And he goes too far. 2 balls and a strike. Great one. I just get a sense the Blue Jays are getting a little better feel about Dylan G and what they have to deal with today.
Well, it's the second time through. Getting an idea. Not as many check swings. He has kept the ball away at least the first time through the order to the right-handers.
Ball is hit to left field. Carrying, gone. Bautista, his 11th of the season.
Fall behind and pay the price again. Bautista a little bit closer to the plate so he can reach that outside pitch and he can actually pull it.
That's the first home run G has allowed on the road this year.
He can pull that outside pitch. He's got extension, he's got reach, and he can meet it.
This just popped up. Daniel Murphy, the second baseman, calling for it. Encarnacion is retired.
Dylan G's been pitching the right-handers away. He goes away again. Watch where this ball is on the outer half, but he is able to extend and reach it, and watch the reaction. He's hoping for that ball to hook foul, but no, it's going to stay in the ballpark.
57th home run for the Blue Jays. They're 4th in home runs in the American League. Baltimore has hit 64. Both the Rangers and the Yankees have hit 60. Pull on the ground. David Wright at third. J.P. Arencibia is retired. 2 down. I mentioned the home runs for the Blue Jays now 57. Since May 8th. That's the 22nd home run they've hit. That separates them from the Orioles. Rangers have 19. We will see the Rangers on the next road trip. Yankees and Boston are right there.
The usual suspects, except the Orioles. What a year they have had so far.
Eric Thames hits it down the left field line. That is a foul ball. Mark Molchinski, the third base umpire, was camped on the left field foul line, had a real good look at that ball, was coming down, and waved it foul. Mike Baxter gave it a look, ran over near the seats, and this ball just slices foul beyond his reach.
Not a lot of room in that left field corner, so you got to stay with it.
Eric Thames just missed a home run back in the second inning. Got out in front of it, hit a little bit off the end of the bat.
Using a little bit of a different stance this afternoon. Laying that bat right on his shoulder. He's done that before.
Yeah, I asked him about that this morning. He said that he hit like this in AAA last year and actually really hit well. He said, but it doesn't feel comfortable.
Well, that's the reason why you do it. You know, why you put the bat on your shoulder, just to keep your shoulders nice and relaxed, so when you pick the bat up, you're in the hitting spot, the hitting zone. Not a lot of movement.
3-2. Got him. Might have chased a pitch off the plate. So Dylan G regroups after the leadoff home run, but the Blue Jays have narrowed the lead. It's 4-2 Mets. Mike Davis, the first baseman, will lead things off for the Mets. It'll be Davis, Cedeno, and Rob Johnson, 7, 8, 9 in the Mets order. Lined right to the third baseman, Yan Gomes. That was a first pitch strike, and so far today, Henderson Alvarez has struggled to throw first pitch strikes. That's just the 6th first pitch strike in 16 at bats. Last time out, he was 23 for 29 against Tampa Bay, and that's been the difference. He hasn't pitched ahead. I think he made a good call, Pat, in the first inning, and it looked like Henderson was thrown off his game. A couple pitches to Andres Torres he thought were strikes were called balls.
And then he gave up a couple of doubles. There's another ground ball out. A double to Baxter, a double to Wright. He seemed to find it, and he almost got out of the inning without one more run scoring. Colby Rasmus going to come up with that chunker out in the center field.
And this is what I meant when I said Alvarez has the ability to make changes on the fly. And that threw him out of sync for a while in the first inning. But boy, he's right back to where he needs to be now.
He's found it. He's found his release point. He's confident. He understands the strike zone this afternoon.
Rob Johnson, the catcher. First pitch strike. Alvarez has retired 6 straight. Two. Been played by a fan, and like I said, it's a great crowd here. 34,962 yesterday afternoon, and I think they're going to do better than that today.
Yeah, we want to have more than that this afternoon.
There's a line drive down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Ben Francisco plays it off the wall. Here's the throw to second. It's not in time. Rob Johnson, an opposite field double, comes with 2 outs.
2 strikes. It looked like he was trying to go up and in. And Johnson, it's an easy ball to hit the other way. A ball that is in. Track it a little bit better. throw your hands out there first. The barrel drags just a little bit, and that's why that ball ends up in right field.
Andres Torres goes after the first pitch. That's a fair ball. And Torres was retired, so the two-out double doesn't do a thing. Mets leave a base runner. Just 8 pitches for Alvarez. JShop.ca has the largest online selection of authentic Blue Jays caps, t-shirts, jerseys, and more. Visit JShop.ca or call 1-877-JAYS-SHOP. The bobblehead doll is shopping for sure, making sure that everybody's getting what they want in the Jays shop here at Rogers Center. You can do the same at JShop.ca.
First of 3 bobblehead days, right, this year. We'll see a Escobar and was it Ricky Romero?
Ricky Romero, Escobar, and Brandon Morrow will make up the collectible series of bobblehead dolls. Then Francisco walked and scored in the second. Ball and a strike. 4-2 Mets. They scored 3 runs in the first inning. Jose Bautista has connected for his 11th home run of the season, a leadoff shot in the third. Francisco gets jammed. Ronnie Cedeno waits on it. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Nick Markakis and Adam Jones have been doing a great job. They each homered in last night's win at Washington. It was the 15th time that Jones and Markakis have homered in the same game.
Markakis turned around that 97-mile-an-hour heater from Strasburg, too.
That's the highest total for any 2 teammates. That's one more than Andre Ethier and Matt Kemp of the Dodgers, homering in the same game. 2-0 to Colby Erasmus. Colby walked his first time up. Here's a guy that Blue Jays love to have come around a bit. He can do an awful lot of things with the bat. Pulls this ball. Mike Davis knocks it down. There's Dylan G waiting for it, and Rasmus is retired. Davis did a good job of knocking that ball down, and he was able to stay with it.
Day games like today, this turf gets a little bouncier, and that one takes Davis by surprise, but he keeps his composure, stays under control, knocks it down, finds the ball, knows his pitcher's going to be there, just throw it to first base. He's going to be there and makes a good play on the other end.
2 outs. Jan Gomes had an RBI single. Looks at a breaking ball. Gomes was shut out in yesterday's game. He went 0 for 3. You and I both talk about it a lot. Jan Gomes looks hitterish. Like he's going to get a hit every time.
He gets himself into a good position to swing the bat. You can see he starts from a high stance, but then as the pitcher starts towards home plate, he moves and he loads up on that back leg. He gets off of that front side, and the hands are in a good position. So when he recognizes a strike, he can go right after it. See all the movement right here? But the hands are back.
Takes a strike.
It's okay sometimes when you've got a lot of moving parts like that, as long as your weight is back and your hands are back when you're ready to swing.
Full count. Yeah, there have been a lot of different hitting styles, but the one thing that's constant is your foot has to be on the ground and your hands have to be back when that ball's entering the hitting zone. Full count to Gomes. Takes the walk. Fastball was upstairs. That'll turn the lineup over and bring Kelly Johnson to the plate. Johnson's certainly added that power dimension to the leadoff spot. Not only does he get on base, but he's got 8 home runs.
So he can score that runner from first base with an extra base hit. Your typical leadoff hitter just sprays the ball around. 8 home runs for Kelly Johnson.
Johnson's career high in home runs was in 2010 when he hit 26 for the Diamondbacks. I don't think Jan Gomes is going anywhere right now.
No.
Kelly Johnson's got opposite field power. A couple of his home runs have gone out to left field, but he's predominantly a pull hitter.
If he can find that left center field gap, he'll for sure have an RBI. Gomes will be able to score from first base. Look at all the room he has. If he can shoot one over Cedeno's head, the shortstop on that turf, that'll go all the way to the wall. Sure RBI.
Had a good cut at that outside pitch. G is ahead 1-2. Mets bullpen has done some shuffling. They have had to bring up a couple of pitchers to help them out. Jeremy Hefner and now Chris Swindon has just been called up from Buffalo. High fastball, and Johnson strikes out. Blue Jays leave a base runner. They trail 4-2 after 4. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Black Bay broadcast. paying him $4.5 million a month after he hung up the gloves. Read about him and some of the other former athletes that have continued their winning ways off the field in this week's Sportsnet magazine on newsstands now.
And we're going to do the same thing, Buck. We got our own copy here. I got some reading for the flight today.
That's pretty interesting, and they talk a lot of successful businessmen. But they also talk about a lot of guys that weren't prudent with their money and spent a lot of money and blew a lot of money. But it's an interesting read in Sportsnet magazine.
How's $100 million blown? How do you do that? I'm going to find out.
We'll find out, and we'll expect a full report when we get to 10. Mike Baxter behind 0-2. Baxter leading off the 5th inning. There's a base hit through the infield into left. An 0-2 base hit. Mike Baxter has 3 hits. Now it's time for the Blue Jays Farm Report. We're going to take a look at the minor leagues, and down in Dunedin in the Florida State League, left-hander named Sean Nolan is really tearing it up. He's 22. He's 6'5", and he's gone 5-0 with a great ERA, whip over 1, just barely. Throws left-handed, and he's a pretty interesting pitcher that we haven't heard a lot about in the past.
Yeah, we hear about all the other guys, but Sean Nolan is starting to creep on that radar. And I asked Drew Hutchison today, who pitched with him last year at Lansing. I said, tell me a little bit about him. He says he throws 92, 93. Good control. Last year he came to Lansing late because he started spring training injured.
David Wright fouls it off.
He has now moved up to Dunedin, and 5-0. You saw a great whip, and he's a strikeout pitcher. He might not be there much longer. He might be a candidate to move up.
Yeah, he comes from Seaford, New York. He went to San Jacinto Junior College in Houston, and pretty interesting guy. 6'5", 235. This is his 3rd season in the system. And just like they've done with so many of their pitchers, the Blue Jays have been very careful with his development. Way off the plate inside. It's a ball and a strike.
That's the part I like about that kid. Now, I haven't seen him throw the baseball, but 6'5", just 22 years old. I bet you creates a nice downward plane.
They have a lot of good arms. Very interesting situation for the Blue Jays. A surplus of arms, and you never have too many, that's for sure. So the Mets with a runner at first base, David Wright, has gone 1 for 2. A 2-run double in the first. Mike Baxter has a single, double, and a triple. Good foul. What makes David Wright such a good hitter?
He can wait so long on a lot of pitches, and he hits the ball from foul line to foul line. Good RBI man. I like how he stands at the plate. He's got a little bit of a movement in his hands right before the ball is let go by the pitcher, and that really helps him keep his front shoulder in. There's enough power the other way. Balance at the plate, plate coverage.
Shoots that ball down the right side, but it's foul.
He pulled one pitch down the left field line and then hits another one down the right field line. How do you play him? You got to play him straight up. This guy is not a candidate for one of those overshifts that we have seen all season long.
One and 2. Base hit left field. Just stayed back and used his hands and strokes it into left. His 2nd hit of the day.
Well, he's so calm at the plate. You can see he's locked in. David Wright, even with 2 strikes, you can see he's comfortable. Hardly any movement in his lower half. That's a good 2-strike approach right there. Watch the lower half. Pick up the heel and just place it down and use your hands to hit that ball hard.
David Wright now has 54 hits, playing in his 37th game. Derek Jeter, entering play today, had 59 hits. That's the most in baseball. Lucas Duda. First pitch strike from Alvarez. Mets have a 2-run lead. It's 4-2 as they bat here in the 5th. Good has got 0 for 2 this afternoon. He is 1 for 8 in the series. This is the first series in interleague play. Both teams will go back into their respective leagues tomorrow. The Mets will go on the road, continuing to play on the road. They'll take on the Pittsburgh Pirates Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoon.
Mets are in a stretch where they're playing 16 consecutive games. And they've had a couple of games in a row now where their starter gets knocked out early. So that makes life a little bit tougher for the manager. That's Terry Collins of the Mets.
That's what's been so pleasant about the way the Blue Jays starters have pitched. They pitched deep into the games and taking the burden off the bullpen. Bounced on the ground. Kelly Johnson at second will tag the base runner and go to first, but it's offline. So Wright is tagged out, and Kelly Johnson's upset that his throw was wide of the mark at first.
Had a chance again. We saw a play by Johnson the other night where he gets right in the baseline like that, makes the play, but then when he went to flip the ball over to Encarnacion, it took off on him a little bit. Upset with himself that he knows he should have made that play.
Had a chance, and had it not been David Wright, he probably would have turned it, but Wright really made it challenging to tag and throw to first. So now Daniel Murphy. Murphy's gone 0 for 2. Way outside. Blue Jays are playing back for the double play. There are Mets at the corners. Baxter's at third, Duda at first. And the infield is playing for the double play. It's going to reach the seats and get out of play. Henderson Alvarez always been able to throw a lot of ground balls. When you look at both Drabek and Alvarez, they're two Blue Jay starters in the top 5.
This is the best ground ball percentage in the American League, and Kyle Drabek is number 2. Alvarez number 5. He can get the ground ball out, but he's got to get the ball down. This ball has been leaking up all afternoon. There you go, down there. That's where he's going to get the ball on the ground.
Yeah, he has been up more today than he has been in any start all season long. And it's cost him to the tune of 8 hits. Kyle Drabek has really transformed himself. He used to be a high 4-seam fastball curveball pitcher, and now he's a ground ball machine. 1-2. Well, Murphy can spoil some pitches.
He's been hot too. Since May the 4th, he's one of the hottest batters on this team. 390 over his last 15 games. He's got a short stroke, doesn't strike out a lot, really tracks the ball a long way and hits the ball the other way. The outfield is now starting to shade him over there as we get to 2 strikes. The infield is shortening up on the left side.
Base hit up the middle. Baxter comes in to score. Duda will stop at second. Murphy gets his first hit and drives in a run.
Not a big home run hitter, but he can hit. You mentioned it, 11th in the National League in hitting, coming into this game at .323. Watch this approach. It's very simple. Just lay the barrel of the bat on the ball and hit it right back through the middle. Good piece of hitting right there.
It was on the ground, but it found its way into center. So the Mets are back up on top by 3. It's 5-2. They have 9 hits. They had a total of 7 in the first 2 games. Kirk Neuenhuis fouls it off his foot. Neuenhuis had a little flare into center field in the first inning. Colby Erasmus stretched out, dove for it, had it in his glove, but it popped out and fell to the turf for an RBI double. Alvarez has been hit around in his last 2 starts. He's now allowed 19 hits in the last 10 innings. Way outside. 10 hits against Tampa Bay, and the Mets have 9 here this afternoon. Just missed the inside corner.
Can't get it to come back. Meaning he throws it and trying to get it come back to his arm side. Meaning slide it to the right against those left-handers inside. So he's stayed away from him for the most part this afternoon.
Very nice. Got a piece of that to stay alive.
He is getting close to his pitch count now, 86. And if he can wriggle through this mess here, they might be able to get one more inning out of him.
First and second, 1 out. Way outside, that's full count. Been a frustrating day for Henderson Alvarez. Luis Perez begins to loosen up down in the Blue Jays bullpen.
He just hasn't been able to leave him out there. He's got one of the best left on base percentages in the major leagues this year. Henderson Alvarez just hasn't been able to make that pitch.
And he's walked the bases loaded. Bases loaded, 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, that's one piece of good news for the Blue Jays. They will miss David Price, their personal nemesis.
Yeah.
It'll be Hellickson, Mike Moore, and James Shields to face the Blue Jays in the 3-game series at Tropicana Field. Blue Jays will send Kyle Drabek, Drew Hutchison, and Ricky Romero to the mound in that 3-game series. So Bruce Walton with a short visit to the mound. Mets have scored a run here in the 5th. And they have the bases loaded. Lucas Duda, Daniel Murphy, and Kirk Neuenhuis. First pitch swinging. Kelly Johnson bobbles at second for 1. No time to turn 2, and that cost the Blue Jays a run. Duda comes in to score. Looked like it was going to be the double play to get them out of the inning.
Tailor-made double play off the bat of Davis. Exactly what you want, but the last hop comes up on Kelly Johnson and handcuffs him. And really the timing messed up after that ball was dropped. Watch that last bounce come up to him. Looked like it hit him in the midsection somewhere. Messed up the timing, and they just cannot pull off the double play.
So it's now 6-2 Mets, but they are 2 down. Murphy has moved to third. This is popped up over near the Mets dugout. Encarnacion makes a catch. Edwin stayed with it. Leaned into the camera bay and ends the inning. Edwin has done a good job playing first base. Got right to the wall, leans in, and makes the catch. The inning, taking a pop-up off the bat of Ronnie Cedeno, and maintains his balance to hold on. He made a similar play early in this series against Tampa Bay.
He never takes his eye off the baseball. That's the key. He knows where that wall is, finds it. That time he squeezed it with his bare hand. I think that one was a little bit better because he had to go over some seats. It looked like it was going to pop out, but Edwin playing some good first base.
That catch against Tampa Bay came Tuesday night off the bat of B.J. Upton in the first inning. Now the Blue Jays need to get some runners on. They managed just 2 runs on 3 hits against Dylan G. It'll be Escobar, Bautista, Encarnacion. Yunel's been on board twice. He's walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Bounce past Ronnie Cedeno into center field. Boy, Cedeno, I don't know if he didn't pick it up off the bat or he just kind of nonchalanted it, but it hit the turf and scooted right past him.
Yeah, played it off to the side. He's going to be charged with his second error of the season. The Mets, fielding-wise, towards the bottom in the National League. Fielding percentage. Watch how he goes after this one instead of getting in front of it. And if it takes a bad hop, it'll hit off of his chest, but he plays it off to the side. Doesn't come up for him. He'll be charged with an error. Second error of the afternoon by the Mets.
Jose Bautista homered his last time up. Shoots this one down the right field line. That's going to slice foul. He reached for that pitch up and away. Bautista's home run was his 11th of the season. Moving up on the leaderboard.
Did you get the sense that the Blue Jays don't feel like they're out of this game?
It's just the 5th inning.
As poorly as they have played, 9 hits, 6 runs given up through 5 innings. You get the sense that the Jays feel like they're right there, that they might have a comeback in them.
It helps that they can hit home runs. Well, the Mets have really played Bautista differently than anybody we have seen this year, with the right fielder playing over toward the right field line. We just haven't seen this kind of alignment at all.
Especially with the runner at first base, where that first baseman has to hold him on. They're giving him the whole side, the right side of the infield.
Making the ball outside
And pitching him away.
Yeah, and I don't want him to hit it to right. I don't think that's a good plan, but you can see.
Home runs by direction. He hasn't hit one to right field yet.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Murphy goes to the bag, goes to first for the double play. So that time the Mets defense was lined up perfectly. And Bautista bounces into the double play.
That's why you do it. That's why you shift. Your notes and all your charts say that he hits a lot of balls from the second base bag over to the third base bag when he does on the ground. So you got to put a guy there. If they're in regular defensive positioning, that's a single to center field.
Tom Goodwin is moving the outfield around. Goodwin is the outfield coach, the first base coach, and the base running instructor. Long-time big league outfielder. Encarnacion has gone 0 for 2. Pulled on the ground. Cedeno at short. Long throw. Uses the turf. Just barely got him. Encarnacion didn't think so. But Cedeno bounced the ball to first just in time to get Encarnacion. Long throw. Uses that hop. And Encarnacion thought he beat it. th 29th, and 30th, a 3-game series with the front-running Orioles. And then the Red Sox, a 3-game series as well, 1, 2, 3 of June. Boston Red Sox, the Baltimore Orioles. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com. Or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. The Blue Jays will go out and play a 6-game road trip, Tampa Bay and Texas, and then come back to take on the Orioles and the Red Sox. New pitcher for the Blue Jays will be Luis Perez. He'll be pitching for the 18th time this year.
It's only given up a run in 3 of those 17 games this year. Perez has been excellent, 3.15 earned run average. Rajay Davis also has now entered the ball game. He will take over for Ben Francisco in right field.
Rob Johnson shows bunt. It's a beautiful day here at Rogers Center, and it's a good turnout. Good crowd on hand. It's the 7th and final game of this homestand. Johnson had an opposite field double down the right field line his last time up. He shows bunt. The appeal down to first base. Brian Knight said he pulled the bat back.
Yeah, initially it looked like he might have poked at that ball to try and lay one down.
Johnson can bunt. Blue Jays had that on their scouting report at the start of the series. Been bothered by a sore left hand.
Got a big rally started for the Mets when they were back at home before they came here on a bunt single.
He bruised up his hand taking a foul tip off his glove, and Terry Collins knew he could only use him as a defensive replacement. But Bob Johnson said, listen, I can bunt. Sure enough, he got in the game and put down a bunt and started a rally. We mentioned a great turnout here this afternoon. 41,867 on hand. And it has been a great weekend. Blue Jays had 34,000. Almost 35,000 yesterday afternoon. Perez strikes out the first man he faces here in the sixth. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Cliff Lee is getting jumped on. 3 2/3 so far. 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and he's allowed 2 home runs to the Red Sox. Josh Beckett is having another good start to his day. Through 3 innings, he's allowed only 3 hits.
Stay hot, salty. He had a big game yesterday for the Red Sox.
Mike Avila's hit the other home run, his 8th home run of the season. A shortstop that everybody questioned. Are you really going to play him at shortstop? Done a good job for him.
He's not an everyday player. He can't. Well, he can do it.
He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. Andres Torres batting right-handed for the first time today. Sharply hit, but right to shortstop. 2 down. Henderson Alvarez started this ball game, but for a second consecutive game, he didn't have his A game working. 5 innings, 9 hits. He gave up 6 earned runs. Walked a couple and struck out 3. Just really didn't have that late life, and certainly didn't have that down location where he's always been so good. He was up in the zone, and it cost him today.
Yeah, one of the best to get in the American League at pounding the lower part of the strike zone. It wasn't there this afternoon for Henderson. His shortest outing of the season. Just 5 innings for Alvarez, 9 hits.
Mike Baxter's had some day. He had a double in the first, a triple in the second, and he singled in the 5th. And here he grounds it to first. Encarnacion will go to the bag. Luis Perez with a 1-2-3-6. Blue Jays need to get back in the game, and they're sending up a hot hitter. J.P. Arancibia has really flourished batting in the 5th spot. The power has really come around. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are big brothers and big sisters of Peel region. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. JP Air and CB are trying to get something going here in the Blue Jays' sixth. Bounces it up the middle, and that'll get something going. The leadoff single here in the sixth.
Lots of room right back through the middle. The Mets do not punch their infield with Aaron Sebia and Encarnacion. So this one's going to find its way into center field. Good start here. Blue Jays get their leadoff hitter on once again. It's 4 out of 6 innings now that they've got the leadoff batter on.
Eric Thames has flied out and struck out. It's a first pitch strike.
I think you have to be ready to swing the bat against this pitcher. He's got one of the best strikeout to walk ratios of the Mets starters at 4-1. He's going to be around the plate. He's going to throw strikes. So be ready as soon as you step into that box.
Upstairs.
Left-handers have hit .341 against him, so that plays right into Eric Thames' hand.
Yeah, there's really nothing that would make an impression on you when you look at Derek G's log for the season. Dylan G is a guy that just going to work both sides of the plate, change speeds, but he has certainly kept the Blue Jays in check this afternoon.
He's made some good pitches when he's had to, right on the outer edges of that plate. Closing in on 100 pitches.
And strikes it off.
Getting away with a couple of them. His season high in pitches is 116.
After a great game against the Braves down in Atlanta back on April 16th, went 7 innings, held them to just 4 hits. Pop to left. Baxter backing up now in his tracks, makes the catch. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. A gorgeous weekend here in Toronto and people enjoying Lake Ontario. Rajai Davis bats for the first time this afternoon. He came on defensively in the 6th inning, taking over for Ben Francisco. We're not sure what the issue is with Francisco, but he made a dive for a play out in the outfield and hit the turf hard, and then running the bases he was doing it kind of gingerly. So we're not sure what led to his being removed from the game.
Nice to have a guy like Rajai Davis that you can pull off your bench right in the middle of the game and hopefully come up with some big hits.
Goes up to that breaking ball and loses the grip on the bat. Rajai had a 2-homer game here on Friday night. He hit a pair of 2-run home runs. First time he has hit multiple home runs in a game in his big league career.
And again, all afternoon they have stayed away from the right-handers. He's going to try and spin something, stay away from them. So think about that. Maybe shoot one in the right field.
Stayed away again, and Davis strikes out.
He's made some pitches again when he's had to. 2 strikes. He's going to stay away. Hits the glove. That's a good spot for that pitch.
5 strikeouts now for Dylan G. Kobe Rasmus, the center fielder. G has been between 89 and 91 with his fastball, but he's worked both sides of the plate very effectively.
He has sunk the ball to the left-handers, and he has changed speeds with that fastball effectively.
Catches the outside corner. Drops that breaking ball right on the outer edge. Oh, and 2 outs. Yan Gomes is on deck. Batting 9th this afternoon. He had an RBI single against G in his 2nd inning. Murphy bobbles it, takes his time, and still in time to get Kobe Rasmus. He was thinking about going to second, but still had time to recover and throw out Rasmus. Junior J Saturday will take place June 2nd, where the Blue Jays take on the Boston Red Sox right here at Rogers Center. The game begins at 1:07 p.m. Special kids price tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After each Saturday home game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Pick up your tickets for Junior Jays Saturday. David Wright 2 for 3 so far this afternoon. Boosted his average to 415. Perez tried to hump up on one, threw it back to the backstop. David Wright drove in 2 runs in the 1st inning. And that now gives him the Mets franchise lead for RBIs in interleague play. He has 82 ribbies during interleague play. That broke the tie with Mike Piazza.
I was looking at some of the Mets organization leaders, and they've had a great history. Trying to throw that one through them. They've had a great history, and David Wright is among the leaderboards in almost every offensive category for the New York Mets.
2 hits today. He has 1,302 hits. That is second on the all-time Mets hit list to Ed Kranepool. And he'll take a walk here. Kranepool with 1,418 hits with the Mets. That's the franchise record. So again, David Wright has been on base 3 times here this afternoon.
Also third in the National League in walks as he picks up his 28th base on balls.
And see if he's going to go out and try to coax Perez back into the strike zone.
He's better when he doesn't try and hump up like you were saying and try and throw the ball too fast. Keeps it down. He's got plenty of movement on his pitches. At times he gets a little excitable and tries to throw one a little bit too hard. That's when you see that ball up around the shoulder area.
Had a good first inning. He had a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning, his first inning of relief. There's a strike. Blue Jays are going to have to come back from a 4-run deficit if they hope to extend their winning streak. They have won 4 in a row. They beat the Yankees 2 straight, beat the Mets the first 2 games of this series.
Especially the road trip that sits right in front of them. 3 in Tampa, and you know you're going to get some well-pitched games, and then 3 in Texas before you come home and play Baltimore.
Blue Jays are 1-4 against Tampa Bay, and they're 2-1 against Texas. But down in Arlington, that's always a different story. You're in a dogfight every night you play down there.
In that ballpark, you're in scoring position when you're standing at home plate. That's how that ball carries.
He'd have wanted to check his swing, but couldn't. Curtis strikes out. Take a look at the upcoming schedule. After this game today, Blue Jays will go down to Tampa and take on the Rays for 3 games. The Rays are 25-16. Then more tough teams as Texas will be the host of the Blue Jays for 3 days, 25-16. Then Baltimore comes here right after that, and Boston will follow them into town. And then the Blue Jays go on the road and take on the Chicago White Sox. And the White Sox have enjoyed the resurgence of Adam Dunn, who's come back with the home run power.
Jay Pierzynski also swinging it.
Pierzynski has done a good job of driving in runs, and you've always got Paul Konerko to deal with the White Sox. 0-2. Daniel Murphy drove in an insurance run in the 5th. That a single right back into center field. His 16th RBI of the season. Carlos Villanueva loosening up. Perez. I'm sure John Farrell would like to see Perez finish out this inning. Give him 2 complete innings and then turn things over to Villanueva. Not really sure the status. I know they have pronounced Evan Crawford 100% ready to go, but he dealt with a back issue the other day, and they'd probably just as soon like to give him another day to recuperate a bit further.
Certainly makes a lot of sense. We don't need him.
Bounce foul. end, and Murphy will trickle that ball foul. That ball really ate him up right on his hands.
If he doesn't hit this ball, it might hit him. Watch this ball run in on him. And he just gets a piece of it. Thought that ball was going to come back fair down the third baseline.
Had a lot of spin on it, but it was spinning and took it into foul ground. 1-2, 1 out. This is lifted into right. Rajay Davis has a beat on it. He's there, makes the catch. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Strasburg's just one of those athletes that can do a lot of things. He's a big guy, and just a matter of time before he was going to hit a home run. He's awfully strong, and Strasburg, 4 innings, 4 hits. He's given up 3 runs, only 1 earned run in his outing today.
He is coming off Tommy John surgery, is he not?
Yeah.
And he is on a innings limit.
Yeah. They've talked about not pitching him deep in September.
They got a great team.
Yeah.
What if they are in the playoffs?
That's been raised before when they started talking about it. Mike Rizzo, the GM, said we're not going to let him pitch deep into the season coming off Tommy John surgery.
And if they're in a playoff hunt in September, how do you shut down your best starter?
With handcuffs. That'd be tough to shut him down. They don't have Drew Storm, their closer from a year ago, and they hope to get him back. He had some loose patties removed in his elbow, and they hope to have him back probably by July. And that'll be a real boost for their bullpen.
You wouldn't be tempted to say, I know I've shut you down, but make this start against the Phillies.
Me?
Or make this start against the Braves.
Oh, I'd be tempted.
Heck yeah.
He's a big, strong guy. And I know starting pitching is so valuable. You want to make sure you don't abuse it. But, boy, Strasburg's a big guy.
Yeah. And if you have a chance to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they'll probably reconsider that, but that's down the road. Two balls and a strike. Two and two. Kirk Neuenhuis, as we mentioned, Neuenhuis started in all 3 outfield positions in this series. Today he's in center field. It'll be a full count. David Wright, who reached with the leadoff walk, still at first base. He'll be off on the pitch. Wright's had another good day at the plate. He's been on base 3 times, a couple of hits, and he has driven in 2 and scored a run. Encarnacion will play behind it. We'll do it again. Yeah, that's an interesting question for the Nationals. You get them into a situation, and I'm right there, game and a half behind the Atlanta Braves. They've lost 3 in a row.
I think they're going to be there too. The pitching staff is pretty good.
Bouncing ball up the middle. Kelly Johnson to his right. Quickly scooped by Encarnacion. That'll end the inning. Good play by Kelly Johnson, and he was helped up by the first baseman, Edwin Encarnacion. Ranging to his right. Quick throw, and Encarnacion scoops it out of the dirt. Cup continues as the Shawinigan Cataracts take on the London Knights. Catch all the action 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. The Memorial Cup on Sportsnet. 9-1-2 for the Blue Jays. Jan Gomes leads things off. Gomes has been on board twice. Singled and drove in a run in the second. And now he'll get on base again.
Trying to move him off the plate and go inside. He will hit. Gomes, watch this. Up and in. Right on the 6 of the 68 in his back. Blue Jays need some base runners. That's a start.
Bobby Parnell, the hard-thrown right-hander, is loosening up for the Mets. We have not seen him in this series yet. So he begins to loosen up. Back to the top of the order. Kelly Johnson. Takes a strike. Foul ball. 0-2. Phil and Jay's done a good job here this afternoon, holding the Blue Jays just 4 hits.
He has made pitches when he has had to. Blue Jays have left 6 runners on base through 6 innings. They've gotten guys on, they just haven't been able to come up with that big hit.
Kelly Johnson strikes out on the outside fastball. That's the first out of the inning.
Second time Kelly Johnson has gone out. That backdoor cutter, slider that he uses very effectively.
Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. He's been on base 3 times. Each time a fielder's choice, and an error by Ronnie Cedeno, the shortstop. Ball on a strike. G has 6 strikeouts today. His season high is 7. He came against the Rockies in Colorado.
Boy, he's taking some pitches when he has to, isn't he?
He's really stayed out of the middle of the plate all afternoon.
Just when you think you got a chance to get him, he comes back with good pitches. There was a single and a walk to start the game. He came back and struck out Bautista and Escobar. A couple of walks in the second inning and made some pitches and got out of it there.
Bounced toward third. Wright barehands it in time to get Escobar. David Wright knew there was no chance to go to second base and played it barehanded to throw out Escobar.
He's won a couple of Gold Gloves with plays just like this. Watch him set his feet before he grabs that baseball. Got that right foot down and planted. So when he caught the ball, he's already in position to make the throw. And there are the splits for Dylan G this afternoon. 110 pitches now.
Had a season high 116 in that game against Colorado we mentioned. That took place on the 28th of April. Jose Bautista with a man in scoring position and 2 down. Well, he has kept the Blue Jay hitters guessing all afternoon. Hasn't fallen into any patterns whatsoever.
Slider first pitch, breaking ball. He'll use the first pitch, change up right there. And he's had good command and control of it.
A former 21st round pick out of the University of Texas at Arlington. Bautista singles up the middle. Gomes is being waved around third. He'll score. And Bautista picks up the RBI. Looks like he might have hit that off the end of the bat.
Also,
second hit.
Also, last time he was robbed of a hit because of the shift. When he sent a ball right back through the middle, this time he is rewarded because of the shift. That ball squibbed off the end of the bat, and you can see where the second baseman is, right at the top of your screen, and he has no chance. If he's playing his regular position, he makes that play and finishes off the inning, but instead knocks out the starter.
Dylan Jay is out after 6 2/3. He leaves with a 3-run lead. He only allowed 5 hits. Bautista had 2 of those. And they look to the bullpen and Bobby Parnell to keep this game in check.
We haven't seen Parnell in this series. He last pitched right before the Mets got to town against Cincinnati when he picked up the win. Only first win of the season, an inning. He averages about a strikeout per inning. He can throw that fastball 95 miles an hour with good sinking action.
Cuts something off and gets ahead of Edwin Encarnacion. Bounce towards short. Ronnie Cedeno goes to second, and the inning is over. Parnell comes in and gets the man to end the inning. But it's a 3-run lead for the Mets as the Blue Jays score a run. Sportsnet live coverage on the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. You can have it with you right there on Lake Ontario on Center Island and watch the Blue Jays. They trail by 3, and it'll be the third pitcher for the Jays this afternoon. Carlos Villanueva, the right-hander on.
Villanueva has pitched already in this series. That was Friday night, 14-5. Blue Jay W pitched the 7th inning in that game. Strikeout and a walk. The ERA starting to come down. He's getting a little bit more regular work now, so he's a little bit sharper. Averaging amount of strikeout per inning this season.
This will be his 7th game in the month of May. And you're right, he's pitched better this month. Hitters have hit just 200 against Villanueva. Bottom third of the order for the Mets. Ike Davis, Ronnie Cedeno, and Rob Johnson will bat. Blue Jays put the shift on again against Ike Davis. And this time he beats the shift. Sounds like he broke his back. Rajay Davis over to cut it off, and Ike Davis is headed for second, and he'll get there. Ike Davis sounded like he broke his bat, but picks up a double. Starts the 8th.
He's got 5 home runs, so he's got plenty of power. That one looked like it might have been off the end of the bat, and he's still able to pull it into the corner, and then reads that Rajay Davis laid back on the ball. Had to stay back on the ball to cut it off, and picks up his 4th double.
Ronnie Cedeno, the shortstop. Blue Jays looking for the bunt. Cedeno shows bunt. Ball gets away from Aaron Sevilla, and Davis will go to third. Looked like Aaron Sevilla just had to go off his glove.
And missed it. Will probably be charged with a pass ball.
Yeah, it should be a pass ball. It's obviously a ball he could catch. Now that's going to force the infield to come in. And indeed, it is a pass ball charged to Aaron Sevilla. Nobody out. Breaking ball strike. Blue Jays have whittled into the lead. Scored a run in their half of the 7th, made it 6-3, and now the Mets are threatening to get it right back. That ball gets away from Aaron Sevilla. Here comes Davis to the plate. In time. Well, the Blue Jays got a lucky bounce right there. That ball went back to the backstop. Villanueva got to home plate. Only Bell standing right on top of it calls Davis out at home plate.
It's the ricochet off the backstop that the Blue Jays' lucky break comes from. Watch where it hits the lower half, which is a little bit harder, so Aaron Sevilla doesn't have to go very far. And he makes a nice off-balance throw to Villanueva. Off the glove, right back to him, and out at the plate.
Villanueva made a good tag as he went right to the third base side of home plate, put the glove down.
If you are the runner at third base, nobody out, you read this ball where you score where you don't have to slide. There is no sense running into an out like that.
In that situation, you got to be 100% certain you're going to score. There's a base hit to left field. Cedeno gets his 2nd hit of the day, and that out at the plate is a big one. 1 out, man on. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Wow, a bases loaded walk. Johnny Cueto, the starter in that ball game for Cincinnati. Rob Johnson, the catcher, with Cedeno at first. Late P. Aaron was charged with his 5th pass ball of the season. That ties him for the most in the big leagues. Kind of a surprising number when you think about how much we felt like Aaron Seavey has improved, but that ball got away from him in this inning for his 5th pass ball.
Blue Jays keep stats on how many balls that they block and how many balls that are catchable that are not caught.
And a base hit to right. Rob Johnson has his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Now Johnson's hand's not bothering him any longer.
It was that one inning that he was pitching on Friday that's turned it around for him. A couple of hits this afternoon. Inside out swing to pick up that multi-hit game.
Blue Jays need a double play. Had a couple of opportunities. They've not been able to convert a double play here this afternoon.
Yeah, the defense this afternoon has just not been as sharp as we have seen it in the past. Couple of balls to the backstop. Double play that wasn't turned. Colby Rasmus made a great attempt on the ball in the 1st inning. And then the ball came out of his glove for a double.
Evan Crawford starts to loosen up for the Blue Jays. Torres fouls it back. Oftentimes on Sunday, you might see some sloppy play. Teams generally don't take batting practice. They don't get on the field. But today, both teams hit. Both teams got on the field. They stretched as a team, went through their normal routine. But you're right. There's just been a little bit of a lack of a keen edge in this game.
Just a little bit. And it cost them a run on one occasion. But two runs. One ball to center field and a ball to second base.
Torres goes after it, and he strikes out. 2 down. We'll be down in Tampa Bay tomorrow and take on the Rays. It'll be Tropicana Field, and it'll be Kyle Drabek going against Jeremy Hellickson. The last time out, Drabek was outstanding against the New York Yankees. He went 7 innings, held them to 3 hits, allowed 1 earned run. Walked forward, struck out 5. He picked up his 3rd win of the season against Hiroki Kuroda. We'll have it all for you right here on Sportsnet. It all begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific. That is Sportsnet 1 tomorrow night. Mike Baxter, triple-double and single, a home run shy of the cycle. The Mets have had a cycle already this year. Scott Hairston hit for the cycle in April.
How about that? Back at the end of April in Colorado against the Rockies. There it is right there, April 27th. Blue Jays haven't hit for the cycle of years. This guy is weeks.
How about Hairston getting the cycle with a 2-out double in the 6th? He didn't wait around for a lot of drama. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Blue Jays trail by 3. Great crowd on hand. They're trying to encourage the Blue Jays, get them out of this inning and get them up to the plate. Jays have already saved a run this inning. Ike Davis was caught trying to advance on a ball that got away from the catcher. Carlos Villanueva made a good tag. Three and one. Now to load the bases. And the last guy you want to see come up in this situation is David Wright.
Yeah, the league's leading hitter. That's done a good job of hitting so far this season with runners in scoring position and with 2 outs. They have put together some good at-bats. Coming into this game, 85 runs scored with 2 outs, which is the most in the National League.
Two for 3 so far this afternoon for David Wright. His average sits at 415. 2 outs. First pitch strike right on the inside corner.
They picked up a 2-out run in the first inning, another 2-out run in the second inning. His numbers with the bases loaded. They also picked up a 2-out run in the 5th.
Ball on the strike. This is the big turnaround for David Wright that we have seen this year. Is in fact he didn't chase many pitches. He's confident. He didn't try to pull the ball, and he showed how he uses the whole field, so he doesn't have to commit early.
Hardly any movement at all. Just uses his hands. He has faced Carlos Villanueva in the past from their National League days. He's got 3 hits off of it.
Pitch catches the inside corner. Boy, these are big runs for Villanueva to save right here.
Yeah, if you have any thought of coming back in this game, Mets can't score here. 3 hits and a walk so far this inning, and he has a chance to get out of it without any runs scored.
What a job by Villanueva. A couple of strikeouts. They throw the guy out at the plate. With that 12 for your iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android device. Listen to live radio broadcasts and receive batter-by-batter information for every game. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Well, the Blue Jays did a great job of stranding the bases loaded. They struck out David Wright. Carlos Villanueva did a good job to keep it a 6-3 game. Now J.P. Arencibia will try to start things off here in the 8th. He had a leadoff single in the 6th. Bobby Parnell came in to get the final out of the 7th inning. He stays on for the 8th. Arancibia had a good swing at that hanging breaking ball. Parnell is now 27 years old. This is his 4th season. Came up in 2008, 6 games with the Mets. Pitched in 68 games in 2009.
Throws hard, and there was last year some talk of he might be the closer of the future, but it just didn't really work out for him last year.
He picked up 6 saves. He worked in 60 games a year ago, had a 4-6 record.
You know, when you watch him throw, he's got closer stuff. Fastball 93 miles an hour with a good breaking ball. And I think the Mets like him in this spot here in the 8th inning. They went out and signed Frank Francisco to a 2-year contract to close ball games for him.
Just because you throw like a closer doesn't mean that you are a closer.
Not yet, you know. Maybe somewhere down the road for Parnell.
J.P. Arancibia lines it to left. That's over the head of Baxter, off the wall. Arancibia will go to second base. Baxter had trouble playing it off the wall, and Arancibia ends up at second.
He had a good cut at a hanging breaking ball early in the at-bat. And then when Parnell tries to slip a fastball by him, JP hits a laser to left field. If Baxter comes up with this ball off the wall, he might have held him to a single. And he tries to barehand it, bobbles it a little bit, bounces off his head, and that allows Arancibia to coast into second base.
Leadoff man is on. Eric Thames. First pitch strike. Just off the outside corner. Ball in the strike. The Jays are down 6-3 to the Mets. They won the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Rajai Davis is on deck. Base hit down the line. Arancibia is going to come in to score, and Thames will end up at second. An RBI double for Eric Thames. It's a 2-run game.
Sitting on that breaking ball, that's what it looked like as he took a couple of fastballs. One a strike, one a ball. This one now curveball, and he lashes it down the line. Between Davis in the bag, an RBI for Thames as he switches places with Arancibia. JP can score easily on that extra base hit.
I think double is even more damaging than a home run at this point, because the pitcher turns around and sees that base runner in scoring position. Back-to-back doubles. The pitching coach, Dan Worthen, out to talk to Bobby Parnell.
And the pitcher stays in that stretch position and feels like not another run. Boy, I got to make a perfect pitch to get out of this inning. Home run, you clear the bases and you start over.
Rajai Davis came into the game defensively. Tim Burdack is the left-hander. John Roush is the right-hander. Ben Francisco left the game with left hamstring tightness, and that's why Rajai Davis came into the game defensively in the 6th. Nobody out. Outside. The Mets bullpen has been torched to the tune of 9 blown saves. They thought they had fixed the problem in the offseason, and so far that hasn't been the case.
Spent some big money to get John Roush, Frank Francisco. They are 16th in the National League in earned run average at 5.06.
Davis takes a fastball on the outside corner. James with the RBI double. Way outside. One thing about this Blue Jays lineup, you don't have to rely on a couple of guys to score all the runs. They've got bats up and down the order.
It's got a little more length. Yan Gomes hitting ninth.
Bounce to David Wright. He'll look Thames back, and Davis is retired. Well, David Wright took his time and looked like he might have hurt himself. They were kind of trying to walk it off like he might have twisted his ankle or something, but he's moving around very gingerly at third base.
You know, he looked towards second base. Watch him catch the ball and look towards second where his feet are. He is facing towards second. Now he's got to bend all the way back around to make the throw across the infield. And you're right, he might have caught his spikes in the turf.
So one out. Colby Erasmus. Erasmus has got 0 for 2 with a walk.
Look for a pitch that you can pull.
And he does. Base hit up the middle. Here comes Thames around third. He'll score. Erasmus jumped on the first pitch. It's a one-run game.
He's got to challenge him. He wants to get ahead. Strike one, so you better be ready. And Colby Erasmus was ready. Very short to the ball here on this fastball, down and away, right back through the middle. Now he's got some speed at first base. Thames is going to score without a throw. And now anything into the outfield, if it splits the outfielders and goes to the wall with Rasmus' speed, he'll be able to score.
That snapped an 0 for 20 for Colby Erasmus. Yan Gomes has an RBI this afternoon, and the crowd is into it.
Left back easily at first base. He can take another step.
Parnell with a little extra at 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's got a good arm. Yeah, a good breaking ball. That's why there was some talk of him possibly being the closer.
Yan Gomes has reached base all 3 times he's come to the plate. Mentioned the Mets' problems in their bullpen. They are only 1 blown save behind the Rockies, tied with the Marlins for the most blown saves in the National League.
They've given up some big home runs also. 12 home runs they've given up already this season.
Upstairs. We have seen Yan Gomes turn around some good fastballs. Parnell has a good fastball.
The one he fouled off reached 99 miles an hour, so he's reaching back for a little something extra.
Struck him out. 101 miles an hour. A little bit extra heat from Parnell.
This is how you climb the ladder with a little something extra. He went 98, 99, 101 to put Yan Gomes down, and now Terry Collins is going to go to the bullpen.
So Parnell will leave. Kelly Johnson is the scheduled batter. Left-hander Tim Murdoch will come on when we come back. afternoon, and they're on their feet in the 8th inning. The Blue Jays have made it a one-run game. Mets lead 6-5. There are 2 outs, and new pitcher into the ball game is the left-hander Tim Murdoch.
This is his spot right here. Lefty's hitting 130 against him. His job is to get one batter right here. 2-0 with a 3.18 earned run average for Burdick. He's got 2 wins and 4 holds in his last 10 outings, so he's been pitching hot baseball for the Mets.
He faced one batter in yesterday's game, and that was Kelly Johnson. He got him to fly out in the 8th inning. Johnson is 0 for 5 against Burdick in his career. Colby Erasmus with an RBI single is at first. 6-5 Mets. Down and away. Lefties have 3 hits in 23 at-bats against Tim Murdoch. A 130 average. Way outside. Yunel Escobar is on deck. Murdoch more than likely just in to face Kelly Johnson.
And Erasmus over at first base getting a big lead. He is leaning like he's trying to steal. Trying to distract Burdick. I don't think he's going to try and steal. There's the bullpen for the Jays. Jansen and Darren Oliver warming up. But maybe just get him to slide step a little bit and get Kelly Johnson a fastball.
Ball popped out of the glove of Rob Johnson, but not far enough away for Rasmus to advance. 2 balls and a strike. Blue Jays have scored 2 here in the 8th. Jose Bautista anxious to get another at bat. 2-2. Comes on and makes the catch, and the Blue Jays inning is over. But they add a pair. It's a 1-run game. We'll head to the ninth. Halifax, Nova Scotia, August 5th, 6th, and 7th. The site will be Mainland's Common Field. The instructors will include Jose Cruz Jr., Jason Dixon, Sandy Alomar Sr., Jesse Barfield, and Dwayne Ward. Visit BlueJays.com/Baseball Academy for more information. The Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. Mets have 4 left-handers in a row scheduled to bat. So with that, Sean Farrell goes to the veteran Darren Oliver.
Certainly makes sense. Lefty's hitting 207 against Oliver. We were talking about this situation before the ball game today, that this is a perfect time for a left-hander, if you need him late in the ball game, to shut down a rally or finish off a game. 4 lefties in a row, and here comes Darren Oliver right out of the pen.
Lucas Duda, first batter. Oliver is making his 8th appearance this month. Henderson Alvarez was the starter this afternoon, and he just wasn't on his game. Pitched 5 innings, gave up 9 hits, and all 6 runs to the Mets. Mention Oliver in his 8th game. He's pitched a total of 5 1/3 this month, has allowed just 2 hits. Pitch walk that starts the ninth. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Jamie Thomas. Frank Francisco, the former Blue Jay, starts to loosen up for the Mets. Daniel Murphy goes after the first pitch and pops it into left. Eric Thames is there. That's the first out of the inning. Oh, Oliver walked Duda on 4 pitches and gets Murphy on 1. Kirk Neuenhuis, the center fielder, will stand in.
Thought they might have played for a run there after the Blue Jays scored 2 in the bottom of the inning after a leadoff walk. I thought they might have played for a run and maybe sacrifice.
I think the left-handers in this situation are prone to the strikeout. So if you bunt in that situation, Neuenhuis and Ike Davis both are guys that strike out. You can pinch hit. You have a good bats on the bench.
That's what I was thinking, that you get a guy in the scoring position after a leadoff walk, and then you can always go to your bench. You've got Scott Hairston sitting over there.
Yeah. Hairston had a home run on Friday in the opener. 2 balls and a strike. It's a 6-5 Mets lead. Scott Hairston had a double and a 3-run home run, and now Bob Guerin, the bench coach, is over talking to Hairston. Looks like he's going to get up and get moving around in the Mets dugout.
He can play all over the diamond. Defense, if you're worried about that, where you're going to play him to keep him in the game, doesn't matter. He can play anywhere. Blue Jays do not have a right-hander in case they do pinch hit warming up in the pen.
They had both Francisco Cordero and Casey Jansen throwing in the bottom of the 8th. 3-1, 1 out. Second walk of the inning. First and second, 1 down.
Well, that's not what the plan was to start this inning with all those lefties coming up.
And indeed, Scott Hairston has put on a helmet, grabbed a bat, and he's loosening up on the on-deck circle. So Hairston will bat for Ike Davis. We are in the 9th. The Mets have a 1-run lead. Hairston, we mentioned, started on Friday night, had a double and a 3-run home run. He's hit .341 against lefty pitching this year. including 3 homers.
Just 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter, but very dangerous. You just mentioned those numbers versus left-handers. He's been around.
Oliver elevated that first pitch fastball, and you can bet on Hairston being ready to swing coming off the bench.
I think that's the best philosophy when you come off the bench. Tell yourself you've got 3 swings and get ready. First one they throw in there, be ready to swing. I think it just puts you in a good frame of mind.
The Mets' best pinch hitter this year started in left field, Mike Baxter. As a pinch hitter, he's gone 8 for 17 with 6 RBI. And today he has 3 hits as the starting left fielder. Oliver is set. Popped up, back, and out of play. In a hole, 0-2. Just outside. Francisco Cordero, we mentioned he'd been up earlier. He should be ready if they choose to use him. It's a right-handed hitter on deck. Ronnie Cedeno.
Right now, you're just trying to figure out a way to stop those runs from scoring.
Just foul. Hairston was all over that inside pitch. That's where he hit his double on Friday night. Right down the left field line. Came off of Ricky Romero.
And he turns around and hits his home run to right field. Deep.
That was off Luis Perez. Another 1-2 pitch. Bounced foul. Missed downstairs. It's 2-2. Darren Oliver pitched for the New York Mets in 2006. After announcing his retirement at the end of the 2005 season, the Mets approached him and said, "Hey, how about pitching out of the bullpen?" And he added 7 more years to his career.
That worked out nicely for him, didn't it?
Sure did.
He's like a lot of guys in baseball that start in the rotation and they get their innings in and they learn how to pitch and then become 8th inning, 9th inning left on left specialists.
Darren had spent the 2004 season between the Marlins and the Astros, and then all of 2005 he pitched in the minor league. So he said, "You know what, I don't want to do this," and decided to pack his bags. And then he ran into some Mets executives at the winter meetings in Dallas. Sandy Johnson, Tim Johnson's brother, who was an executive at the Mets, convinced him to come back. 2-2, 1 out. Got him. Took something off the breaking ball, and the wily veteran strikes out Scott Hairston.
I think he was sensing that Hairston was getting on his fastball and slider, so he had to go to something different. And that's where being an ex-starter back in the early part of his career comes in handy. You can throw a curveball at him and he picks up the strikeout.
Now John Farrell has come out of the dugout and will take the baseball from Darren Oliver, and with 2 outs, Francisco Cordero will come out of the bullpen to face Ronnie Cedeno in a 1-run ball game. Brandon Morrow bobblehead day, and the bobblehead is anxious for a Blue Jays comeback. They trail by a run as the Mets bat with 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Francisco Cordero on in relief of Darren Oliver. Runners at first and second and 2 outs, and he'll face Ronnie Cedeno, the shortstop.
More ground balls in his repertoire, fewer strikeouts per 9 innings. He'll sink the ball just a little bit more now. Throw a good slider. He, like Darren Oliver, has got to come in here and shut it down.
First pitch strike. Cordero in his last 4 outings, he's worked an inning in each of those outings and has allowed just 2 hits over that span.
Beautiful.
0-2.
Now the finishing pitch. That's the one. Infielder looking for the ball, just trying to knock it down if it comes their way.
Strike 3 call. The veteran Francisco Cordero comes in and throws 3 strikes and closes out the Mets in the 9th. Escobar, Bautista, Encarnacion, the meat of the order. Jays down by 1. This 1-run Mets lead.
Francisco's got good fastball. Saw that last year. He's also got a couple of strikeout pitches, a split finger fastball. He's had some control issues this year. That's been his problem when he has come into the game, that he is walking too many batters, throwing too many pitches, but he certainly has closer stuff. He just has to be able to throw it for strikes.
So the meat of the order, Escobar, Bautista, then Encarnacion. Bautista has already homered here this afternoon. He's driven in 2 of the 5 Blue Jay runs. He also had an RBI single. Justin Turner has come on defensively to play first base. He started at first base Friday night. .65 Mets. Looking for the sweep. The Blue Jays will have to come back. First pitch strike from Francisco. Francisco is 9 for 11 in save opportunities. Ball on a strike.
Well, he's got plenty of fastball, and he has been in this situation before. Looks like he wants to keep the ball away from Escobar.
That splitter down and away. Cunell's done a great job of getting on base. He's been on base 3 times today in his 4 plate appearances.
You'll see a lot of pitches. One of the best on the Blue Jays at pitches per plate appearance.
And rip at that high fastball.
And he turns right to the home plate umpire. That's Wally Bell, and ask him, was it a ball or a strike? Hitters want to know that when they swing at those borderline pitches. Were you going to call it a ball, or are you going to call that one a strike?
Francisco is set. Full count. $41,867 here at Rogers Center. Too close to take.
Yeah.
Borderline ball. And Escobar's checking with Wally Bell again.
Just to make sure. You're right. That was a little bit too close to take.
And that left Wally Bell scratching his head. The rally caps are out. Bautista is 0 for 2 against Francisco. Francisco, before last year, pitched for the Texas Rangers. 8 home runs so far this month.
He's got a lot of confidence in that split finger fastball. It looked like that was the pitch he threw 3-2 to Escobar to get to this spot right here.
Doesn't have that same velocity on his fastball he had when he first came up with Texas.
Takes off a little bit. Bautista looks like he's ready to uncoil on something.
Back in the 3rd inning, leading off against Dylan G. Bautista hit a hard pitch, high and deep. Just sneaks over the wall. Home run number 11 for Bautista. The 8th home run he's hit this month.
Park wasn't able to hold that one. He was actually pulling an outside pitch for the home run.
Base hit to right. Escobar is going to make the turn and stop. Bautista shot one in the hole. 1st and 2nd, nobody out.
You know, if you want to play him to pull, you can't throw him outside with 2 strikes, or he's just going to reach out and poke one through the right side. Just a half swing and keeps it fair. Now Escobar has to hold up just a little bit to let the ball pass him, and I think that stopped him from going to 3rd base. That stopping and then starting again.
Bautista's 3rd hit of the afternoon. Bautista has a different approach if he doesn't have Edwin Encarnacion batting behind him. With 2 strikes, he was confident just to get on base. Edwin has been a terrific hitter here in this ballpark. Nobody out. Inside. Encarnacion has 13 home runs. Looked like he made up his mind about halfway through. He didn't want to swing, and fastball was up a bit.
Yeah, the conviction wasn't there. I think if you are in swing mode, you swing until you take. Be aggressive. Oh, man, he had one to hit.
That was a swing. He had one right up on the letters and uncoiled on it. Just fouled it straight back.
He got away with it. He had a home run walk-off type of swing right there. Now just shorten it up. We have seen him hit a lot of doubles over the last couple of years. This is a perfect time for one of those.
Francisco strikes him out. First out of the inning. A reminder that only Colorado has more blown saves than the Marlins and the Mets. They've blown 9 so far this year. J.P. Arencibia will step in against a pitcher he caught last year. Arencibia had a double his last time up. He singled in the 6th. Fans are on their feet. The outfield for the Mets has to play no doubles defense. Bautista at first base is the key run in this situation, so they have to back up a bit.
And if you're the runner at second base, that's what you got to look to. You got to look to the outfield. So any line drive to the outfield, you can read the ball off the bat and get a good jump to score that time run. Center fielder, that's Neuenhuis, is very deep in center field. Lucas Duda very deep in right field.
Escobar at second. Bautista at first. Good rip by Arencibia.
Don't need to lift the ball. Put a good swing on that ball and let Francisco's power pitches do the job.
Bautista can get a big lead at first base, and that's huge if there's a ball hit on the ground. There's one out. Another good swing by Arencibia. Got under it a bit.
Look for the ball down. That's where Francisco is going to throw it down.
If it's up, chances are it's going to be a ball.
Right. Yeah, you can take it. Set your sights low.
Two. Arencibia strikes out. Foul tipped into the glove of Rob Johnson. Back-to-back strikeouts with runners at first and second.
Goes back to his fastball. 3 of them in a row. After he fell behind 2-0, he went right back to the fastball. 3 straight against Arencibia to get him.
Eric Thames had an RBI double his last time up. It came in the 8th. 2 outs. Fouls back the first pitch. Henderson Alvarez was the starter in this game. He lasted 5 innings. He was charged with all 6 Met runs. Blue Jays had 13 walk-off wins a year ago. Francisco has given up runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances.
329 batting average against coming into this game. A walk, a single, has set it up.
Base hit should tie it.
Yeah, anything into the outfield will tie it because Escobar now 2 strikes, 2 outs. He's getting a huge lead at second base. Same with Bautista. First baseman's got to play back with the left-handed hitting Thames up, so he can get a big lead also.
Strikes him out. Frank Francisco is the first 2 runners on base and then strikes out Encarnacion, Arancibia, and Thames to pick up the save. The Mets hang on for the 6-5 win.
All you ask for when you fall behind early is to have a chance in the 9th inning. And the Blue Jays had a chance, but they just fall short. Francisco tightening it up, striking out the side.
Blue Jays fall short. They win the series 2-1. We'll see you tomorrow night from Tampa Bay. Stay tuned for Connected. Jamie Thomas coming up next.